Okay, let's talk now about Jimmy Garoppolo, who we thought would get traded. We did acknowledge if this was the pick, then Jimmy might not get traded. And the Niners certainly talked after they drafted Trey Lance, like Jimmy's going to be around here. Then the Patriots draft Mac Jones, which takes away a key Jimmy location. What do you think about the Garoppolo dynamic as we sit here?
Yeah, I think one thing came into question over the last week, just reading about Jimmy and his destinations, were he was going to have to take a pay cut, including New England, to get traded. I think tonight was a really good night for Jimmy Garoppolo. On the most basic level of teams that were interested, mainly the main one, just took Mac Jones. Like, they're not taking Jimmy Garoppolo back. If anything, like, they're the same player. Like, Mac Jones, Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to the Patriots. That's over. They just took him 15 overall, too. Like, there's no need. Like, that's ended. I don't see another destination for him to go to. The other problem with the Jimmy Garoppolo trade was his cap number, like 20+ million. Like, most teams aren't just like, we got a bunch of cap space around the draft. So it was already going to be complicated. I think tonight, like week one, I would imagine Jimmy Garoppolo is a starting quarterback. And you kind of lucked into this situation because I do believe if there would have been teams willing to trade what they were asking for, not a first-round pick, but a second-round pick, just out of desperation, the Niners would have had to do it, even if they didn't feel Trey Lance was ready for week one. But now, you know, I do think they have the possibility to redshirt Trey Lance. Now, I don't agree with that. And you and I talked about the live stream during the first round, which technically we're still on, but that I would rather do a training wheels. I'm stealing this from you, but I think this is just where I stand on first-round quarterbacks. Fucking sink or swim. I'm a Cal Poly. We learn by doing. I can speak for ourselves in the business that we run now in this podcast, YouTube. The best ideas we have are when we do things, we find out good or bad. You learn in any walk of life by doing it. Now, I understand quarterback is complicated. He's had this month with John Beck. What do you think what playbook do you think they've been talking about?
The Niners?
Yeah. So now here's what I probably wouldn't do. I wouldn't just cut Jimmy. Like, I got no problem. Like, what if Trey beats him out? Jimmy's the backup. Like, maybe Jimmy's value, like, don't be caught up with Jimmy's value anymore. Just keep him. But I'm not dead set. Like, if Trey Lance is better, Trey Lance is better.
Well, yeah.
Part of it's like Jimmy's got to be a pro. Jimmy's got a lot to earn. Jimmy, you're 29. Like, you can have a long career ahead.
If Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, there's Trey Lance. If Jimmy Garoppolo's not effective, there's Trey Lance. If Jimmy Garoppolo plays well, but you think Trey's ready, maybe now the circumstances have changed around the league and somebody that didn't need a quarterback today needs a quarterback in 5 months.
Can Trey Lance beat him out if it's a true open competition in training camp?
I think it'd be really hard.
I think it would be really hard. If you just factor in a guy that's been in the league 6-7 years, has Josh McDaniels and Kyle Shanahan taught him all that, like, it'd be difficult. He should not be able to beat Jimmy Garoppolo out in a no OTAs, just training. If Jimmy can't beat him out, that's Jimmy's career is trending the wrong way.
In hindsight, Justin Herbert should have beat Tyrod Taylor out, right?
Jimmy is a lot better than Tyrod Taylor.
I agree. But Herbert had played 4 years of college football.
I don't think those scenarios parallel each other much.
But Trey Lance has had the playbook since April 14th, basically.
Jimmy's had it for
maybe
4
earlier.
Years.
Yeah, no, I mean, he shouldn't be able to beat him out. But again, the comparison is not necessarily, although it will be in this case. But what you and I are talking about, the comparison is not can Trey Lance run all the plays that Jimmy can run, right? In our scenario, it's can I win games with Trey Lance running a modified version of my offense, the training wheels version of my offense? Can I win games with him doing that and also get him playing experience for 2022 and 2023? And maybe we get him up to speed, Josh Allen style, faster, right? Like that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about will Trey Lance know the offense as well as Jimmy week one? No, it's can Kyle Shanahan run a version of the offense with Trey Lance week one that gives them maybe as good of a chance to win because of his physical abilities, overcoming for the fact that you're not necessarily using the whole playbook that Jimmy would be able to access. Like that's what we're talking. That's I think the way we should look at this.
Well, to me, the best part is you can look at it that way if you're Kyle. I think you can just be open-minded to anything. Here's what I do know. under no circumstances, Jimmy has no leverage to make a stink, to be a bad teammate, to not just be gung-ho. He's being paid a premium to do whatever the fuck they tell him. And whether that's he's the starter, which he's the starter right now. If he gets beat out and be the backup, like, sorry, Jimmy, you're the backup. Like, that's just part, like, you're not the bet. Like, a lot of guys have been benched who've been better than you. Joe Montana, right? Drew Bledsoe once upon a time got kicked to the curb. He led a team to a Super Bowl once upon a time. He was the number 1 overall pick. That's where I think that Kyle, like, Jimmy, you got a lot on the line. Like, the league's watching you. If at the end of the year, if Kyle goes, listen, it was a tough situation for Jimmy. He got benched week 3 for Trey Lance. We never look back. We made the playoffs with Trey Lance, but Jimmy was an ultimate pro. Like, I think he would earn a lot of credit around the league.
Yeah.
And if Trey Lance was good, like, I'd just be like, well, Jimmy will get an opportunity to start somewhere else if he's healthy.
Depending
right?
on
One day.
well, like you just said, Jimmy, by the way, Jimmy was once pick 62. That's not pick 3. But Jimmy was the backup quarterback to Tom Brady. He sees what it looks like to be on the other side of it. He knows what it looked like from Tom's perspective. But Jimmy Garoppolo has a lot to gain here still. Jimmy Garoppolo.
100%. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's a good point. Jimmy Garoppolo can still be the starting quarterback of the 49ers. And Jimmy Garoppolo can still.
I think the league values how you act in these situations. They watch it closely.
There's no doubt. But ultimately, what really adds value is if you play, how well do you play? So if he's the starting quarterback and is playing well, which would make it a lot easier for him to handle the Trey Lance situation well. Like, if he handles the Trey Lance situation well, but he got beat out.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares? Like, sure. Yeah, you'll be on another team. But if you beat him out, play well, and handle the situation, like, now you're a starter for somebody else next year. Right? Now you're a starter. Somebody else might pay you some money.
Here's where it gets difficult. When you have the young, super high pick, and you're a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, who in the eye of the coach and the fans are like, oh, I'm good moving on with this guy. One bad game is like, I'll throw Trey in there.
Yeah.
Right. That's just an elephant in the room that it'll be interesting to watch Jimmy navigate that. Every pick, it's like, oh, would Trey have thrown that pick?
Well,
part of the deal.
I fully expect we'll watch Trey Lance play football this year. Now, does that mean he beats Jimmy out? No. Does that mean that Jimmy gets benched? No. But Trey Lance is going to be on the football field one way or another this year.
The way I would handle it, Guy.
Remember, once upon a time, the Niners were beating people by like 35 points. Like, you go back to that world.
The team was a lot better.
I know.
The way I would handle it is a little Pete Carroll style and just be an open competition. Now, it's an open competition that's an uphill battle for Trey just because Jimmy's way ahead.
For sure.
I would have an open competition. And I do think with Jimmy's injuries, it's the NFL. Like, you've earned the right to do whatever the hell you want. And I don't expect them to do that. But that's how I'd handle it.
Yeah,
I think he could. Do you think what is your guess that he goes, Jimmy's our starter? I'm not even talking about what he says tonight. I'm talking when training camp starts, or do you think he goes, we're going to go open competition? Jimmy's obviously starting with the ones, and we'll rotate as the weeks go on.
I think he'll treat it like Jimmy's the starting quarterback, which is fine. But, Trey Lance is still going to be out there playing. Doesn't mean Trey Lance can't take his job if he's not better than him, or if he's better than him.
Yeah.
But I think he'll start with Jimmy Garoppolo as a starting quarterback. I mean, he is trying to win. He's trying to win games.
No,
Jimmy's going to know his schedule.
I'm not saying that Jimmy doesn't start as a starting quarterback like with the rep. I
think he will view it like Jimmy Garoppolo's the starting quarterback right now.
Not like Pete Carroll, Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson, open competition.
Well, I mean, if Trey Lance is better than him, Trey Lance is better than him.
Sucks, but
if Trey Lance is better, Trey Lance is better. Like, I don't think Kyle's going to.
But it's hard in training camp to find out who's better when one guy gets the majority of the reps.
So you're saying you'd have to split the reps in order to really know? And if you're splitting reps, then no one's truly the number one quarterback?
Well, because I want to see Trey Lance throw with Debo and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, right? I don't want to just watch him throw with, I was going to say Kendrick Bourne, but he would have been with the starters too. Like random guys we don't even know yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you
think?
It's
clear, like when Jimmy got to New England, there was no like, I wonder if I get to throw with Edelman and Gronk. No, it's like you're throwing with this. I just think you can ease it in. The other thing is the best part about when you make a big trade and then select the guy, the elephant in the room is like, I wonder who's like, we know, like it is what it is. Like this guy is the future. So it's never like, we can't step on Jimmy's toes and take those 6 reps away from him that he would typically get in the, no, I mean, the rules change. The rules have now changed for Kyle can even cook the books with reps that he wouldn't normally done with Jimmy and Nick Mullins, right? It'll look different.
Yeah.
He could even say the right things and still do things differently.
Look, if Alex Smith had gotten hurt in 2017, then Patrick Mahomes would have played earlier. If Alex Smith was bad in 2017, then Patrick Mahomes would have played earlier. Alex Smith was healthy and was good. And that kept Patrick Mahomes from playing earlier.
Best season of his career.
Yeah. And look what happened.
Would you say that's the best case scenario for the Niners? Jimmy
Absolutely. I'm just saying, like, for Jimmy, look, this